Everyone can be seated. Good morning, members of the jury. We are about to resume with the examination of Sergeant Corbett. Before we get started today, I did want to ask you as a group, we are still good on the snacks? Everybody has enough?
Thank you.
All right. Headed back to Costco this weekend if need be, but let the bailiffs know. Ms. Dugan, you may examine as necessary.
All right, so before we go back to your PowerPoint demonstrative, I want to show you one thing. And before I show it to you, Judge, I'd like to offer State 64 JJ into evidence by stipulation.
That's correct, Your Honor. 64 JJ is admitted at this time.
Sergeant Corbett, does this appear to be an email from Donna Harvey at gmail.com?
Yes.
Okay, subject, bad news.
Correct.
And it was sent on June 25th of 2013 at about 11 p.m.
That would be GMT or UTC time, so we would need to subtract 4 hours from that to be local time, but yes.
Okay, thank you. So sometime the night of June 25th of 2013.
Correct.
And that was the same day as I believe the plan of action email that we saw yesterday from your PowerPoint, which was sent just a couple of days after Wendy's relocation was denied.
That's correct.
Okay. And so in this email sent about 5 days after Wendy's relocation was denied, from Donna and Harvey to some friends, does it say, "Not in the mood to talk right now, and hope you'll understand. Wendy's hearing for relocation was denied. No chance at the appellate level for an appeal. We are all very disappointed. We'll talk soon, I promise. Love, Donna."
Yes.
Does it appear her understanding is it's denied and there's no chance for an appeal?
That would be correct, yes.
Okay, well, let me switch you back over. Thank you. Okay, so where we left off yesterday, we went through some of the emails showing Donna Adelson's involvement in the divorce, text messages showing her venting to Charlie Adelson about the divorce. Are you familiar with Luis Rivera's statements to law enforcement in 2016 after his arrest, that he and Garcia traveled to Tallahassee not only in the month of July of 2014 to kill Dan Markel, but also made an additional trip in the month of June of 2014?
Yes.
And were you able to corroborate that from the phone records?
Yes, we were.
Okay, so now I want to go in chronological order then, from the start of the June trip all the way through the July trip when Dan Markel was murdered. How did Garcia and Rivera get to Tallahassee for the June trip?
In a rental vehicle.
And were we able to find the rental contract for that vehicle?
We were, yes.
All right, can you show that to us?
Yes, so this is slide 107. I'm referencing here a rental contract from Comfort Rental Car in Miami. And again, yes, this would be the vehicle that was rented to come to Tallahassee for the June trip.
What date was the car rented?
So looking at the details here, we can see the date out, and I'm looking to the right side of the screen here is June 2nd of 14. And we see at the bottom here the vehicle is due back in 6/5 or June 5th of 14.
Okay, so it was a 3-day rental then.
Correct.
About what time on June 2nd was it rented?
Well, presuming the 24-hour rental periods, as it is due back at 8:50 p.m., then it would have been rented around 8:50 p.m. on the 2nd.
8:50 p.m. on the 2nd?
Yes.
Okay. What type of car did Garcia rent for this first trip to Tallahassee in June?
Again, looking to the right here of slide 107, it is a silver Nissan Altima.
And the contract was signed by Garcia?
That is correct.
Does Luis Rivera's name appear anywhere on that contract?
It does not.
Are there any phone records to show how this rental car was picked up?
Yes.
Did you get location information from Magbanua's records that night that helped shed some light on that?
We did, and this may be the time to point out, for Mr. Garcia, his carrier was Metro PCS, kind of transitioning into T-Mobile at that time, and we were unable to obtain location records for his handset for the June trip. We do have location information for Ms. Magbanua and for Luis Rivera, but we do not have any records with location for Mr. Garcia for this particular time frame.
Okay, so what do we see here?
So what we see here is just a map depicting Ms. Magbanua's residence at the time and the location of the Comfort rental car near the airport here. And as I progress to slide 109, this is representing the cell sites that Ms. Magbanua's handset communicated with the evening of June 2nd. And we can see on the right-hand side of this, around 8:25 p.m., her handset was communicating with a cell site that would be near her residence. At 8:34, she's now communicating with a cell site further to the west. And then we see at 8:53 through 8:58, she's communicating with a cell site that would be servicing the area of the airport or Comfort rental car. And this would be consistent with her handset traveling from her residence to the area of Comfort rental car.
And would that put her cell phone then consistent with Comfort rental car around the same time that Garcia is renting that car if there's 24-hour rental periods with that contract?
Yes, and we see here slide 110, again, we're depicting the particular sector that her handset was using by the large red arrow. And we can see that that sector would specifically be consistent with servicing the Comfort rental car. We see she has events from 8:53 through 8:58 on that particular cell site and sector. And as we recall, the rental contract, vehicle was due back at 8:50.
Does she stay in that area for a while, or does she kind of immediately return back to her residence?
So what we see next, we saw those events through 8:58, and then we have an event at 9:17, and then another event we see to the right. This is slide 111. To the right side, we see cell sites at 9:43 and 10:01, which will be consistent with her returning to her residence. So she does stay in the area of Comfort for a short period of time.
Okay. Did you look at her records to see who she was talking to during this trip to the car rental and back?
Yes.
Okay. Who was she talking? Okay, I'm sorry. What do we see here?
So this is a summary of the call detail records. Previously, we saw the actual raw records as they come from AT&T. We saw that there was a lot of information on the page. So with our analytical software, we're able to produce these summaries, which allow us to assign names. We can convert the date and time to our local time, and it just makes it easier to read those call detail records. So this is just a summary of the calls for the subjects that you see here for the evening of June 2nd around the time of this rental car.
So who was she talking to on the way to Comfort Rental?
GEICO, the 800 number that returns to GEICO Insurance.
And is that the first line up on the call detail records we see?
It is, yes.
And does GEICO Insurance sell car insurance?
They do.
Now, obviously we see some of the co-conspirators talking to each other here in the call detail records. Do we expect most of these co-conspirators to be talking to each other on a daily basis, given that some of them are family members, some of them are dating, they have relationships outside of this crime?
Certainly.
Okay. Are you going to be walking us through in your presentation today certain time periods of communication between the parties that stood out in this investigation?
Yes.
What causes a particular period of time to stand out?
The particular times of interest would be those that overlap with physical events or specific events in the crime, in the conspiracy of the crime. So this is the evening of the renting of the vehicle. that Mr. Garcia and Mr. Rivera are going to drive to Tallahassee and to commit the homicide. So this seems, in the scheme of things, to my understanding, the first kind of physical doing act of this homicide. And so that would be a relevant time frame to look at.
Okay. All right, so using a timeline, can you walk us through the communication between the parties for this particular significant time, this first car rental for the first trip to Tallahassee for the murder of Dan Markel?
Yes. And so using the timeline, we will kind of look at what's happening as far as Ms. Magbanua's travels compared to who she's communicating with when. And this is taken from that same exact summary that we just saw. But as I move on here, we see that in the time frame, we saw the cell sites of her traveling to the area of Comfort Rental Car between approximately 8:25 and 8:53 p.m. is when we see that she has the phone call to GEICO.
Okay, was she talking to Garcia at all during that drive to the Comfort Rental area?
She does not have any communications with Mr. Garcia during this time frame.
Since they don't have communications with each other, could that be consistent with her giving him a ride to the car rental since he is the person who rented the car at that time?
Objection or speculation.
Overruled, the witness may testify based on his analysis of these records.
It is certainly consistent when we don't see communications between two parties that they could in fact be together and have no need to actually call one another.
Okay. They could just not be together and also not talking to each other.
That's correct.
All right. But the reason that this could be consistent with her giving him a ride there is because once she's consistent with that area, it seems that that's the time that the car is being rented.
That is correct.
Okay. Now, who attempts to call Katherine Magbanua once she is consistent with Comfort Rental, dropping off Garcia?
So again, at the time frame, her handset will be consistent with the area of Comfort Rental. We see an incoming call from Charlie Adelson at 8:57 p.m.
After Magbanua, if she has dropped off Garcia at this point to rent the car, and this car ends up obviously being the one that is driven to Tallahassee to kill Dan Markel, who did she call on the phone at this point after Garcia is dropped off?
So again, from her cell sites, we saw she had an event at 9:17, which was kind of the first indication that she was moving away from the area of Comfort Rental Car. And what we see is that at 9:17:58, she places an outbound call to Charlie Adelson.
So as soon as she's no longer in the area of Comfort Rental, she's calling Charlie Adelson.
Correct.
How long is that conversation?
A little over 25 minutes.
What time do they get off the phone?
Approximately 9:43 p.m.
Okay, 9:43 in about 25 seconds, it looks like.
Correct.
Right